This is the WASD and Beyond podcast. And welcome back to another episode of the WASD and Beyond podcast. This is your Walking Forever host, Matthew. Joined with me, as always, is my co-host, Nick.
You said it wrong. This week, we are joined by California Matt.
I don't know why I'm California Matt. I think it's because of my curls and just, I don't fucking know.
Yes, when the video comes out, when Matt gets around to posting the videos that we want to post for you guys.
Hold on. Don't put this solely on me, by the way.
Listen,
obviously it is pretty much entirely on me, but don't just like out me like that. Like once Matt gets around to doing this is a team effort that I am taking on much of the responsibility for. Don't try to fucking out me like that.
Well, when he gets some time and he wants to actually do some work, he'll get it done. You'll see why I'm calling him California Matt. He's got the nice little surfer boy haircut, and his Fire Nation soccer jersey is just on point. It is fucking on point. I do need to get around to starting. I know, it's fucking sweet, dude.
It's fucking gnarly, dude. And it's gonna look so good when I actually like get into shape and I'm not fat. Then it's gonna look prime.
I don't want to lose weight only because all of my shirts are XLs.
And they're just gonna be like swimming.
All of my like dope ass merch that I do have that is like out of like 25 shirts or like out of 15 were made, or the soccer jersey I'm wearing right now, my Power Trip jersey.
Mm-hmm.
There was 20 of these made. So what do I do with it at that point when I fucking become skinny boy Nick? Which won't happen because my body frame is not meant to be small. I'm a wide boy. I'm a big boy. All right. It's not gonna happen. But when it does happen, which it won't. What do I do with all those shirts? I'm not donating those. I don't got
No, you just wear them, and then you just are like, yeah, my boyfriend gave them to me. He's 6'5", and everyone's like, okay, yeah, I get it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
How's your week? How's your week been, dude?
It's been good, just working a lot. That's pretty much it. Not a whole lot.
Yeah, I feel you on that, dude. I've just been studying a bunch of A+ shit. I'm on USBs now, which is
Universal Serial Bus.
So boring. That shit is what like starts getting my brain all fucking everywhere.
Because you're just like, can we please get to the cool stuff? Like,
well, I'm doing A+, and I'm also doing ethical hacking again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I yearn to finish my A+ studies so I can get back onto my ethical hacking studies. So it's like, whatever. I gotta get the test done. It's good. It's all good.
It's the same thing with anything. You got to get the basics, and then you can move on to the advanced stuff, even though everyone's like, I don't fucking care about the basics. Let me do the cool stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's all good. Yeah. It's all good. So
all good in the hood. Well, actually, maybe not. I'm sorry.
The country is still in a bit of a disrepair at the moment.
Yeah, that was poor wording.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
It happens.
We posted our statement on Twitter, so we're standing by that statement. We're not going to get into anything pertaining to that this week. But with that being said, there is a little bit of gaming news that we do have. I have to quickly escape from Matt's comment. So it was fine. It wasn't that big of a deal. It wasn't as worse as 2 episodes ago. It wasn't as worse as 2 episodes ago.
That is fair.
Okay. Oh, really quick, before we do go into the gaming news, I looked at our demographic. What a bummer. It's a sausage fest. There's no ladies listening.
Well, yeah, why the fuck would any girls listen to us? We were talking about
Celeste
video
listens
games.
to us. Celeste, one of our viewers, Celeste, listens to us. Celeste, tell your friends to listen to us.
Okay, but here's the thing. There's just not that many girls who are interested in video games. It's that simple. There are. I'm not saying that there's not. it's
Right.
just not as likely. More guys are going to be a little more guys are a little more into video games than most girls are. Is
I feel like you're digging yourself into a bit of a hole this week.
I'm not trying to, but I am, so I'm just cutting it. I don't.
Yeah,
Whatever.
it's fine. Listen,
you're the one who brought this up. You're the one who brought this up. I'm trying to defend the point that you just made.
Ladies, please listen to our podcast. We don't want it just strictly dudes. This is a podcast for everybody, okay? Please listen to us. If not, just listen to how stupid we are. It's fine. It's fine.
All right, can we get into the gaming now? Because I didn't see that as a relevant thing to bring up before the gaming.
I was just thinking about it. Okay, so with E3 being canceled this year due to coronavirus, which sucks. They've decided, well, all the expos pretty much got canceled, but they decided to start doing like online showcasings.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of companies are doing it, and the list is pretty cool from what I can see.
There are kind of too many to keep track of, which is a little
lot, dude.
You really just got to like pick and choose. Big one thing to note is that Saturday, June 13th, there's like 4 different shows going on. So that's a good day. That's a good day for gaming.
Yeah, June 13th. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Guerrilla Collective, which
PC
there's
gaming.
there's no tentative times for when they're going to start.
No.
Yeah, Guerrilla Collective, PC gaming, PC gaming show. No, yeah. I fucked that up. Whatever. And the Future Games show. So yeah, those three, which they all sound pretty fun in my opinion. They all sound like they're going to be really interesting to watch.
The PC gaming show, I'm stoked about. So is the Guerrilla Collective. The Future Games show, I have no idea what that is.
Sounds like it could be cool. It sounds like obviously indicative of the title what future games could be coming out. So I mean, I'll watch it. Hopefully
I feel like that's its own specific developer that's doing like their own show, and it's probably gonna be just like a bunch of 2D platformers. Like
whatever. We'll fucking see.
Like every single fucking indie game ever nowadays.
Yeah. Well, then on June 16th to the June 22nd, you got the Steam Game Festival Summer Edition, which that's gonna be sweet. So you get to play all the indie games for free on Steam.
Now that's cool.
Yeah. So that's gonna be really fucking cool. EA Play, could be cool. That's June 18th.
It's EA, so we already know where that's gonna go. FIFA 21, Madden 21. Here's all of these features that we stripped from the game, and now we're gonna charge you to get them back.
Right.
Yeah.
The one that I'm most excited about, and I think a lot of people will be just as excited as I am about it, is the Night City Wire, which is the Cyberpunk Expo. That's the 25th of June.
Yeah, that one I'm
gonna
stoked
be fucking sweet.
All information on Cyberpunk is fucking A+.
Welcome. Yeah. I know that day you and I will be definitely linking up in person and watching that for sure, if you're able to. You got Microsoft, which just says June. Ubisoft,
real fucking specific. Just somewhere in this fucking month.
And then you also got fucking Microsoft in July. It just says July. Gamescom opening night, which is August 27th.
Hold up. Microsoft is doing what they're doing to their video games by taking the finished product, cutting it in half, and splitting it up between 2 separate things that you can then probably pay more to see, DLC. Right. Yeah.
I hope not.
You got that connection. I'm sorry.
I hope not. You piece of shit. You got the Gamescom opening night, which is the 27th of August. And then a really cool one that I did see that I'm looking at right now is the PlayStation 5 event, which is PlayStation 5, the future of gaming. So,
which has absolutely no date as to when it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's all a lot of it's
TBA. I think it's supposed to be like August, September area.
Right.
So,
yeah, a lot of it's TBA.
The only other notable one that I wanted to bring up, well, okay, so there's actually 2, but one of them, so there's the IGN Expo, but by the time this episode is released, that will have already passed.
Yeah.
So we can talk about anything that was like revealed, on the next episode. And then there's also the Summer of Gaming, which is the 11th, 12th, 15th 18th, and 24th. Because once again, you can't just make things easy or simple,
Yeah, you got to
let's split it across 5 days that aren't even consecutive.
Oh, and you got the Escapist Indie Showcase, which that could be cool. That's on June 11th. I don't know what it's going to be necessarily. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch these expos.
for the Escapist, I haven't paid attention to like any of the channel other than um what the fuck is it called? The one reviewer that we watch.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember his name.
I'm looking it up right now. Keep talking.
Yeah, but like I know that the Escapist has like a whole bunch of different
zero punctuation,
right?
Yeah,
That's like the only bit from the Escapist channel that I actually watch. So
yeah,
I don't quite know what the rest of their channel pertains to or what they may
it's
showcase.
just
But
gaming and stuff. Yeah. Well, I will see. We'll see. A lot of it's cool that they're still giving us these showcases in a way that we're able to still watch them. So I mean, I'm
right.
excited. We'll see. Um, supposedly there might be a Bethesda one. Let's see if Bethesda can pull himself out of a hole bigger than Matt's put himself into this episode.
In all fairness, I can go deeper. I
Yeah,
can go deeper.
you definitely fucking could, but we don't need to. You fucking piece of shit. But yeah, there's a lot of cool, expos going on, and I'm really curious to see how fluid they're gonna work. How fluid they're gonna work, because I did watch the first Microsoft one on Twitch and Mixer. I actually switched over to Mixer because it's Microsoft platform and it ran better on Mixer. Go fucking figure.
Mixer, okay. Here's one of the weird things that like this is stuff that I pay attention to for zero reason whatsoever. But if you're a streamer on Twitch, your maximum bitrate can only generally go up to about 6,000 or so.
Okay.
If you're like a big streamer and you are able to like cut a deal or something like that, I know that there is ways that you could increase that, but it only really increases to about 8,000 as your bitrate.
Seems a bit shoddy to me.
Mixers, their platform, one of their big appeals is that they have a bit rate that of a maximum of like 10,000. So if you have the hardware and the ability, you can make your stream just that much better.
Yeah, that much more crisp.
That's one of the pluses to Mixer.
Right.
So
Okay.
plus with the higher bit rate, there's less of a delay,
Yeah.
making it feel almost as a more immediate, right? You're not trying to chat with the streamer and then 10 seconds later they respond to your message. It's like 2 or 3 seconds and they can now see your message.
It's not as noticeable. Yeah, that
Right.
makes sense. That's pretty cool though. I do enjoy that. The Mixer platform, I think the only thing I like Twitch's platform and its interface and how it looks, because it is simple.
Mm-hmm.
Mixer goes for more of like a complex look to it, in my opinion. I think it does it a little bit of harm, in my opinion.
I don't know. I don't
Whatever.
use Mixer. I don't
Whatever.
use Mixer.
All I'm saying is the first Microsoft Expo I did watch, it was all games. I'll give them that. It was all games.
It wasn't any Ferraris.
No, they showed off. No, they did show off a stupid ass car game that I don't give a shit about.
If it's a car game, that's fine.
That's fine.
I remember the E3 that they're like, check out this cool car we got on stage. Everyone's like, yeah, cool. You rented a Lambo, whatever. Like,
yeah, what are you gonna do with this after? When you gotta, all right, get it off stage. You gotta take it back.
Hurry it's gotta be back at 3:17. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Bill Gates is gonna be pissed. It was okay. It was cringy. It was dorky, but that's fine. I can deal with that. It did seem a bit weird, them being at home. It's just weird. It's the new quote unquote normal, which I'm sick of hearing that phrase because I don't want this to be the new normal because it sucks.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that by next year we can get back to regular shit.
Until then, I'm hoping like next month. Like, come on, let's wrap this shit up.
It ain't done, buddy. It ain't done. I'll tell you what. I will bring this up. I did go to a protest in Detroit, and 99% of people were not wearing masks, and it was a very, very cluttered thing. I got pretty much ran out of an alleyway by riot police and a group of, not a group, it was a lot of protesters, just like, oh shit, they're coming. And I was like, I just wanted to watch. And then just had to book it. No
Yeah,
one was wearing masks. What I'm saying is nobody was wearing masks, and it's going to come back.
which is the funny thing, because like usually you go to protests and you usually try to like cover your face, and then the time that you're supposed to, people are like, "Nah, fuck that."
With me having as many tattoos as I have and tattoos on my face, I literally covered up top to bottom, and I looked like a fucking ninja walking around. Like if a cop was gonna beat anybody, I was gonna get my ass beat
They're gonna be
for
like,
looking
"Look at
the way
this fucking samurai looking motherfucker."
yeah, you
Like,
ain't Samurai Jack, bitch. Get out of
they're
here.
gonna take your stupid like plastic sword off you and just smack you with it. Like,
Dude, it was surreal, but we'll leave it at that. This is not the podcast for that. Which I brought up, but whatever.
yeah.
Anyways, any fucking ways. I always say that because no one was wearing masks. So don't get comfy. Get comfy at home. Don't get comfy without your mask though. But yeah, all these expos and online expos, it could be cool this year. By next year, if it's happening, bummer. Like, bummer.
What I'm looking forward to is that with all of these expos, we're gonna have just a lot of room to talk about all of these new like games that are revealed, and it's just gonna make our job a lot easier.
It
There's
definitely
a
is.
whole
Yeah,
bunch of free content right coming towards us. They're just waiting
exactly.
away.
Well, and there's a lot. There's a lot more expos than there usually is. Like,
Oh
there's like,
yeah.
fuck it, let's just do it. Which again, yeah, that makes it easier for you and I for content.
hmm
So I mean,
Even though it's
yeah,
every day, it's gonna be like, did you see these 17 games that were revealed today? Like, no, I
like,
only caught the 16 that were from yesterday. I didn't see any of those today.
yeah, it's like, and
Yeah.
out of these 17, you only liked 3. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Which I'm hoping not. But I think, like I said, to wrap up the news, I am excited to see Sony. I'm excited because I want to see what the PS5 is going to. I want to see the hardware and all that.
hmm
I'm excited for Microsoft because the next conference they are doing is the Microsoft Game Studio conference. So that will
Cool.
be geared towards Halo and all their exclusives. Um. So yeah, I mean, especially Cyberpunk, that is going to be the
That is literally one of the
mwah,
most anticipated
cherry
games
on
in
top.
such a long time. Yeah.
I honestly I want to upgrade my graphics card so I can play Cyberpunk at like its like top tier. I want to see that game just shine on my computer.
Yeah, I'm going to be a strong advocate against that, and I'm going to advocate for saving money because your rig is just fucking fine. Go
I
figure.
I am not going to be spending money. I would like to, obviously. I would like to,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to. I'll probably just tell Luke give me his computer because he
See,
doesn't use it.
I feel like you and we have these discussions a lot, and then you're like, "Don't worry, I'm not gonna." And then like 2 weeks later, you're like, "Hey, yeah, by the way, I found it on sale for $2 off, so I just bought it."
That's pretty. That's so fair though. I mean, I can't justify spending $1,000 right now.
Oh God, no, 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 no.
I mean, I'm on unemployment. I'm getting that extra moolah from the government, but that's going to run out soon, possibly, because I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Don't take my $600 away. I have a child, you idiots. Anyways, there's no work. I can't work right now. It's stupid. Whatever. Whatever. I don't have any money.
I don't have money.
We need a new season of Your Pretty Face. That's what we
Yes,
need during this pandemic.
yes.
Give me Henry Zabrowski, please. I want to be your friend so bad.
I wouldn't even care if it was just Henry Zabowski by himself.
Zabrowski.
I know I fucked it up. Just go with it, all right? You don't need to correct me every time. I'm aware that I fucked it up. I'm just trying to move past it.
All right, let's go.
Henry Zabrowski.
You're peeking yourself so hard today.
You're making me upset. You are making me upset.
It's gonna be an angry episode to begin with, anyways.
I wouldn't care if it was just Henry Zabrowski by himself, like at his house with like a green screen, trying to do every person's roles, and then that was just a season. I'd be fucking be like, yeah, let's go. I got to see this shit.
I'm watching it. I'm buying it. If that is, I don't give a fuck. I got my fucking Your Pretty Face merch all right there. I got so much I've just bought online.
You got the Henry Zabrowski mask on the desk behind you.
Yeah,
Exactly. It's just like the bottom down. But
see, I got lucky. I bought that thing because it's a Comic-Con exclusive. I bought it for $10.
Nice.
And it goes for like $80 now. I'm like, nah. Like, it's dope. It's fucking sweet. So, Oh man! So this week's episode is there any more gaming news that we have? Oh, a bunch of conferences really quick due to the protests and due to Black Lives Matter and out of respect for Black Lives Matter. I will say this really quick to kind of touch on it. It was cool seeing a bunch of companies pushing back their expos.
Mm-hmm.
It was really cool watching companies be respectful of what is happening in the world right now and addressing what's happening.
Yeah.
I'm not saying every company did it well. Like, there's some companies where it's like Rockstar shut off their servers for the day.
That's
Julie and my little brother goes, "Hey, look, guys, Rockstar solved racism. They shut their servers off for the day." I was like, Jesus Christ. It was funny, but a lot of companies were awesome and respectful, and they're like, "Listen,
mm-hmm.
we had something planned today. We're not doing it now. Just we'll be back when we can." And it was cool seeing that. Like, that was really awesome to see a lot of companies come together,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of developers come together and push some shit back
I
for what is
do
happening.
I do feel like that is part of the reasoning as to why there is so many of these conferences with, to be announced
TBAs,
dates,
yeah,
right?
which
That they
it's
decided to
appropriate,
reschedule. Right, yeah. Oh, 100%.
you
Especially if
know.
it's an online medium, right? It's not like it's the big gathering at E3 where it's like, all right, we already rented out the building, like everything is set in place. Doesn't matter
Right.
what's happening, we have to commit and go through with it. If you're doing just like an online showcase, like, yeah, we'll just delay it a week, or
Yeah.
a month or whatever it needs to be. It's not going to be that difficult.
Right. I
So,
mean, and the cool thing to me is they're looking out for their employees who are affected by what is happening in the country and around the world right now. So
mhm.
it's like it's awesome. It might not. I'm not saying every company and every developer is doing it for the right reason. I don't know, but to see it happening is cool.
Yes.
That's all I gotta say on that. That's the last piece of gaming news that I did have. I did want to mention that because it is cool to see that
Um,
that is happening.
I have one correction from the last week's episode.
Oh, what happened?
Um, so remember how we were talking about how the Valorant beta ended?
Yes.
It was over for a whole 2 days before the game fully released. the
What? Why?
the I don't fucking know. Here I am, and I'm like, okay, they're ending the beta. They got a whole bunch of bugs and stuff to work on and everything like that. Give it a month, give it 2 months, something like that. The game is
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
much polished. You just got to make some tweaks and a little bit of fixes, and then you're ready for release.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the fucking point of
Of
ending
shutting
a
down for 2
beta?
days.
Yeah, and then it's 2 days later, it's released, and it's like, did you guys like? What's the point? The whole point of a beta is to test and to fix stuff. If you're not allowing yourself enough time to fix those issues, that it's literally just a play it early.
Yeah, yeah, it's early access.
That's literally all it is, and it's such a
At least it does run well. The game.
it does. No, I won't. They don't need to do that much more, right? Usually, I remember like Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 when you played the beta, and then 6 months later, the game released.
Yeah, yeah.
You're talking. You got 6 months now to work on all of these issues and these kinks.
Which
Valorant
equals
was
crunch.
already a very well made, well running game. It doesn't need that much more fixing, right? It just needs a little bit of tweaking and polishing, but it's already like 98, 99% done. You just change
Yeah.
some values, all of that stuff. So give it a month, give it 2 days, 2 fucking days.
They must have had good feedback, and the QAs.
No,
Whoever.
because I forgot that they were already the initial release date was scheduled for June 20th, 2020. So
Okay.
that was the date that they were planning to release the game that I
Was
had forgotten about, and then they not June, sorry, May.
last month. Last
Yeah,
month.
the end of sorry, not June, May.
Yeah, May. May. Okay.
May.
Okay.
So they released it like May 2nd or June 2nd or some shit like that. I don't know, and then they ended it like 2 days. I don't remember the fucking dates. I don't know,
It seems
but
a bit odd, but they
yeah,
must have gotten good feedback. It must have been good enough to release, which doesn't sound well. It doesn't sound good when you say, well, it's good enough to release. But from what I played, it's pretty polished. I didn't have any problems. I didn't
right,
encounter any bugs. So it must have been QA'd well.
yeah.
So, I mean, with everyone playing it as well, I mean, who knows? I haven't played it since beta. I do have it installed again.
Hmm.
So I probably will be playing it quite often now, but Tarkov has been just taking my time.
Because it is a good game.
Yeah, it's really good. So
yeah, no, I'm just tired of this. Like, we're gonna let you beta test the game, and then we're going to just release it a week later without having anywhere near enough time to implement your guys' feedback. What
that
is the
does seem,
point
yeah.
of allowing us to give you feedback on things that are wrong with the game if you're not going to allow yourself enough time to fix those issues?
Yeah,
And like I
no,
said,
you're right.
with Valorant, it's a different story because it's pretty polished. But other games,
Like the one we're about to talk about,
yes, this is a
the
pretty
main
good.
topic. Yeah.
Yeah. The main game that we want to talk about today, we've discussed it quite a lot in previous episodes, but we want to actually like talk specifically about it today.
Right.
And
Yep.
that is DayZ standalone.
Yes, not beta. We're not, because beta was great.
You mean the
Beta
mod?
was mod. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got me fucked up with beta talking.
So
Yeah, the mod.
as with what I was just talking about, DayZ standalone was in early access alpha for over 4 years of
Yep.
its early access title, then went into beta for 2 months, and then was fully released with
And
all
ported
of
on
the...
Xbox and PlayStation. I believe PlayStation. I know it is on Xbox One.
It is. No, it's on both. Yeah, Xbox
Which
and
is
PlayStation 4.
absurd.
Yeah.
Do you want to save that talk for later, or do you want to just talk about
Yes,
how?
okay.
Okay.
That was just my little segue.
You already got me fucking angry.
So
I'm already angry.
So to start, I guess it would be better just to go back to, I guess, the beginning. So DayZ was originally a mod for Arma 2,
Yep.
and it was incredible. It was a whole lot of fun, right? It was a zombie apocalypse. It had all of these military assets. You had helicopters, base building, persistent servers where you
Dude.
could actually
Oh.
build a base and it would, like, stay there. You had vehicles, like I said, like helicopters,
In-game
airplanes.
trading. You had factions. You had clans. If you were,
You had like
yeah.
tasks from NPCs and stuff like that. There was so much that you could do.
Really quick, the coolest thing I enjoyed was if you were a shithead bandit, you looked like a shithead bandit.
Yes, that was an easy way to tell who was good and who was bad. If you're just murking innocent players, then you're gonna look like a fucking bad guy, right?
Yeah.
And so then your outfit changes depending on that, and that's awesome. That was sweet.
It was awesome to see that, dude. It was definitely cool because you would know, like, oh, that dude KOS. He's definitely gonna KOS.
Yeah.
And KOS stands for kill on sight. If you didn't know what that stood for, if you didn't play these types of games, California Matt is flipping his hair. If you didn't play DayZ, like it's a very popular term, which again, KOS or kill on sight. It happens in that game every 2 seconds.
Pretty much. Well,
so
I wouldn't say every 2 seconds because actual player to player encounter is like every 2 days. But every 2 days, every player interaction was a kill on sight. After
what I'm saying.
You spent 2 days grinding for gear after finding nobody, and then you just run into some random dude in a forest, and he just shoots you twice, and you die, and you're like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
Yeah.
So,
all right, so that's the beginning.
Yes,
it started out mod, and mod unanimously on this podcast, we will say we fucking love DayZ mod. Fucking love it because that's where a lot of gaming communities came from. A lot of bigger communities were on DayZ mod, and that's why it was fun. You had it was fucking dope, and different servers did different things. It allowed for different things in the game, and standalone gets announced. We'll hop over there now. Standalone gets announced. Fucking obviously, everyone is excited.
Yeah, everyone is so pumped. Even I was pumped.
And
DayZ, the DayZ mod was the first game that I ever purchased on PC. It was on my crappy old Gateway laptop that couldn't run it. But I literally bought Arma 2 and everything like that just to play DayZ mod.
Yeah.
Like, that was That was the whole reasoning behind it. So then they're like, hey, we're going to make an actual standalone game based on this mod. Like we've seen quite a few times now at this point. It was like, yeah, let's fucking do this. It's going to be great.
Yep.
Hmm. Oh,
It's
I don't even
it's
know where to begin.
all right. So DayZ standalone is very similar in the same aspect of the mod. You loot, you meet up with your friends, and you hunker down or you just explore the map and you either go and fucking try to find all the vehicles, you try to find the weapons, you get to the air bases. It is in theory a lot of fun, and when it works, it's a lot of fun. So, but we'll get to that in a moment. So the whole point is to survive, right? You need to find food, you need to find water, and water can be found in the form of wells, water bottles, canteens. You can fill up those canteens or water bottles at wells. That way you have water on you. You can find food nowadays. You can find food and water and pop and a bunch of stuff everywhere. Luckily, they did implement that because there is a hunger system, there is a fatigue system, there's a sick system now, a bleed out system. There you can break your bones. I'm
I
just
don't
trying to
think
give you guys
I
what
don't think you can actually break your legs anymore. I think they
you
took
can.
that out.
No, you can. You can break your
Oh,
legs.
you can?
Yeah, but it's not. So when I'll continue to give a little bit of more, of what it actually is, then I'll go into that the cool bad stuff. But
Right.
yeah, so there is all these systems in place that you need to continue to monitor. Your guy can get too cold to get hypothermia. Your guy can get way too fucking hot and overheat. That'll decrease your stamina to run. There's a lot of awesome things. It's not overbearing like Scum is, because Scum is just overbearing.
It's still a
It,
little bit
it
overbearing though.
is it is because of how they implemented it.
Mhm.
When the game first came out, your guy would literally run barely down the street, and you're already starving, dehydrated.
Yeah, you'd be a
Um,
fresh spawn and you would already be hungry and thirsty, and you're like, cool, and every building down this beach has been looted already, so
yeah,
fuck me, I guess.
exactly. So you're just fucked, right? And we're not. Also, we're gonna be talking about Chernaris. We're not talking about Livonia,
Yeah, we'll get into
which
that
we'll talk
later.
about a little bit about Livonia, but we're gonna mainly talk about Chernaris. Um, so that yeah, I mean those are all the things that happen in the game, like pertaining to your character. And when you do fresh spawn, you are referred to as a Bambi. Um, so with all that being said, when the game first came out, there was no food. It was very hard to fucking find water. It's next to impossible to fucking find weapons unless you went to the the air bases.
Balota airfield or the northwest
Yeah.
airfield or strip or whatever, yeah.
So like you're just fucked. You're fucked. Everyone's already on the server, taking everything, digging, like burying shit. And it's bug when it first came out, it was so fucking buggy.
Yes, it was obnoxiously buggy. You would constantly take damage from sources that weren't anywhere near you.
Yep.
It had a horrible melee collision. You were literally like, it was impossible to melee kill zombies,
And
to
if
the
you
point
yeah.
where that was so bad that they had to remove zombies from a zombie game so that way
Yep.
they could try to fix and overhaul the melee system,
I
which,
remember that. Yep.
here, go figure, it didn't work. It still fucking sucks.
Well, I would say DayZ in today's current state is in a better state than it's ever been. And
Yeah.
that is saying a fucking lot. It really is, but it shouldn't have taken this long. And there was a lot of internal development problems. An entire team just fucking stopped pretty much. And the head
So
developer fucking left. And
so this is something I've actually been doing a little bit of research on.
right.
So part of the issue was that they said that um with their current engine, they weren't going to be able to implement things like base building,
Yeah.
vehicles, all of these other complex systems that they wanted to add. So they had to design a completely brand new game engine.
Okay.
Um, which was immediately debunked because like 2 months later they made some modders made base building on the same engine like 2 months later. So anyways, so the DayZ standalone game was being developed by roughly like 80 to 90 people, right? For over this
Right.
like 5-year span. That's still a pretty small team.
Yeah.
If you want to compare it to something, I know I'm always fucking riding this game's dick, but Escape from Tarkov, this game is being developed by roughly the same amount of people, right? Anywhere from like 90 to 100. So it's got a few extra people, but for the most part, small team.
Right.
A good portion of this team, from most people speculating, were off put to work on this new game engine that took up most of the resources, most of the development time. You had 20 people or so that were actually working on features of the game while everyone else is working on building this game engine.
Right.
This game engine is specifically, I wouldn't say specifically, it is being theorized that it was being developed primarily for use for Arma 4. And DayZ is kind of like the test dummy.
That's ridiculous.
Right. Literally, Bohemia Interactive has already stated that they plan to use this new game engine for Arma 4.
So what's going on with DayZ then?
Like I said, it literally is just like the test dummy. It's to build and use this system so they know that it works, so then they can put it over to Arma 4, and then that's their new engine for their new money-making franchise. Well, I wouldn't say new, for their big money-making franchise, right?
If they fucking properly made a DayZ game, that would be bigger than Arma.
I don't know about that.
It would be neck and neck. Let's say that. DayZ, dude, you show off a DayZ game and go, hey, it works. I'm buying it.
Well, yeah, but you're also a big fan of that. I would argue that Arma is a much more popular series.
That's
and
fine.
Always will be, because it is not only a game that is a realistic military simulation style game, but it has all of these assets and tools for modders to create their own style of game with the tools that they have.
Which you can now do in DayZ.
Yes, now you can in DayZ.
Yeah.
But it's still within those confines, right? Like,
yeah.
In a DayZ mod on the standalone, you're going to be able to like maybe add a new map or some new guns or something like that. Look at how there's been multiple game genres that have spawned off of Arma mods alone.
Right.
Literally just bringing it down to Battle Royale and DayZ in the DayZ mod.
Yeah.
So, anyways, though. I'm trying to remember the name of the new game engine for DayZ. It's like the immersion engine or something.
I don't know.
I don't fucking know.
Whatever.
But yeah, so that pretty much is what took up majority of the development cycle and time span for DayZ. And then after it's already been so fucking long, DayZ decides that they're just going to release the game as is, as a 1.0 release, because they have given up on it. And it wasn't until DayZ finally added community mod support that the game started to see any sort of resurgence whatsoever.
It was a breath of fresh air for the entire community. Everyone came back to it.
Because now they can actually, you have those people who will just fix the game. Yeah, just like, oh, I fixed like 742 issues. Just download this like 10 gigabyte patch. You're like, okay, sure. Yeah. But then they're also able to implement the systems that still to this day don't exist, hardly work, or have apps. They work but don't serve a purpose in DayZ. Yeah. For instance, base building. You can base build in DayZ. Everyone is, it's finally here. The problem with base building is that one of servers aren't persistent, so you lose your base once the server resets.
Unless persistence is turned on, which is now,
which is now a thing. I don't believe that that's a thing on official servers. On the official DayZ servers, non-community servers, I'm pretty sure there is no persistence.
I'm unsure. Yeah, I'm unsure.
But regardless, this is something that it takes forever. You have to have a multiple huge group of people that are all collecting supplies, taking hours, days, weeks to collect everything and then to get everything set up, get the actual base built, all for seemingly nothing because
Without
you're
being
got
killed.
right. And so now you've spent all of this time doing that, and now your character just dies, and you don't have a stash, a safe. You don't have a way to get back to where you are. You have to cross the entire fucking map again without any vehicles because it's the exact same scenario for any vehicles. You have to roam around the entire fucking map collecting parts,
Yeah.
walking everywhere, so that way you can eventually fix this vehicle. And then the driving mechanics are fucking shit.
So my experience with vehicles is I finally found a vehicle in perfect condition, pristine condition. I could have taken it. I was geared. I left the Northwest Airfield. Fucking I was fully kitted out. I was bulky as fuck. I was a big boy. Like you're not killing me. I will kill you if I see you. You're not gonna be able to kill me. Start the engine, car blows up. I uninstalled that day. Uninstalled. I was like, this is fucked. This is fucked. Because they want to fuck around and not put time into this game.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, if they put the time into DayZ, people will continue to play. People will continue to fucking support them, like me. And I make myself look stupid with my friend group. And that's what bums me out is, hey guys, let's play. Let's play. I'm probably gonna reinstall after we're done with this episode.
Just so you can go back, get at it, and then uninstall it because you're like, nope,
Yes.
game's still not any better.
Absolutely. But like it just sucks, dude. It's like, God, come on. Like, just fucking come on. Fix this game. They just added, I believe, a grappling system where you can like grab ledges and shit, but I don't even think that works.
It didn't look all that impressive, no.
Like, there's a lot of systems they want to put in the game that just don't work, and they're not polished, and
they're still missing so many features like vehicles, air vehicles in particular.
Boats. Give me a fucking
water
bicycle.
Vehicles.
If you're not gonna give me a fucking car,
let me ride a fucking bike around. Let me GTA that shit. Like,
yeah, I don't care. Let me ride a bike around the map. That would make it enjoyable. Like back in the day, I didn't mind playing walking simulator. Okay, because I enjoyed the and here's a personal experience. I enjoyed the thought of finally meeting up with my friends. You, Kyle, Brandon Mast, and whoever else was playing at the time. It was fun when you finally fucking look down the road and you're going into Electro and you go, "Is that you?" And they go, "It's me." And you wave at your buddies and you're all together and you get looted up and you fucking take down another team. That feels great. It does feel fucking great.
Yeah.
When that happens. But
it's the maps are so massive that it is nearly impossible to meet up with someone if you're not along the coastline.
And if you don't know the map.
Especially if you don't know the fucking map.
Luckily for us, we know Chernarus. I know Chernarus.
I know of maps of Chernarus.
I know how to get around Chernarus. Luckily,
I know how to get along the coastline because that's like all I've ever been
left
to.
Left or right?
Yeah, just run to the left or run to the right. To the right. All right, got it. See you in 2 hours.
A lot of interesting conversations do happen when you play DayZ. You get to know somebody pretty well.
So one of the things that works for DayZ is the scale, right? The size of the map. It's massive. So you're constantly like, we're alone, but at the same time, we can also run into people at any moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
The problem with that is just it is too much aloneness and not enough like player interaction if you're not just specifically going to like these same big cities over and over and over again.
Right. Yeah.
Without any forms of reliable transportation across this giant fucking map leaves you with just, okay, you spawned on the bottom left corner of the map. You're right below the airfield. I spawned in the top northeast
In
corner of the map
Svetlo.
in Svetlo, right? So either it's going to take us 4 hours of us walking to each other to meet up, or I have to just kill myself and then try to get a closer respawn.
And another problem with that is with what you're bringing up, the massiveness of the map is if you're on a map. I do like that they do tell you if it's a high population, medium population, or a low pop. So if you want to get geared up, you can start on a low pop and then bounce your way over to a high pop. Which I will address something they did fix, and I do enjoy this fix. But if someone like me who knows the map, I know where to go hide. I know if I get a fucking SKS with a good scope, I know I can gun you down pretty much anywhere I'm at. I'll be able to get that shot on you, and I'll just kill you anytime. If you don't know the map, like someone like me, how I know the map, and you think you're just going to waltz in somewhere, which isn't a problem for me necessarily, but it can be. It can really be off-putting to a lot of players. Because, like, well, how the fuck was supposed to play if I just get sniped from some unknown location? I don't know how to get to that location that guy just sniped me from. And it's it's continuous. I'm not going to leave my sniper nest and let you get into below the airfield. Get the fuck out of here. I'm going to keep shooting at you every time. So that could be a turnoff to a lot of players. That's like with how like the massiveness of the map. That's another downfall. But I also think it works for the game too. It is a hardcore type game, and that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, go on. I'll bring up
Well,
this thing.
for me, besides like literally all of the missing features,
Yeah.
The biggest problem that Daisy has is that it has this massive, massive fucking play area with absolutely nothing to fucking do,
I
and
know.
you have no reason for being there. The literal only thing you have to do is just survive, which at first is like okay, but then after a while you're like, please give me something to do. Put NPCs around the map that just give you like stupid little fetch quests that force you to go way up north inland compared to staying around the beach. Like literally just add more more content. But it's not even like that much content, right? It's not like you're delivering all of these weapons that you haven't delivered yet. You're not delivering any of these vehicles that you haven't delivered yet. You're literally just putting in an NPC who's like, "Hey, go up to this city and give this man this, and I'll give you a cash reward or something."
Well, luckily there is a mod for that.
Yeah, there's mods for this stuff.
I don't want. I wouldn't.
It's
I wouldn't want that in the main game. I think the way it's meant to be played is high population maps and its interactions with players. I like that, but
that's fine. But then you have to add more people.
Yes,
what I'm talking about is it's the emptiness, right? Either you increase the amount of players, or you have to actually put shit in the map where you have objectives at least.
And that's fine. That's fine. I think if they were to add more
people
interactivity with the map as well, chop down trees, make your fucking fort, fucking build fires, fucking build up your own fucking store, go into a city and hunker down and sell weapons. Players selling weapons. That'd be sweet. I have this weapon. Give me this much rubles. Give me this much cash. Or we'll trade weapons. I know where a vehicle is. You give me that fucking AK-47 you got, plus that, and plus all your food. I'll take you to a Jeep. Shit like that I want to start seeing more of. But that's up to the community to do, not up to the fucking...
That's usually what's found in role-playing servers.
Yeah, which I do enjoy those role-playing servers.
The role-playing servers are the best servers to play on because it adds that depth of like, most people you meet are friendly, people are trying to trade, people are trying to do stuff like that. It's not a server where it's essentially just kill on sight. And the problem is that that's sort of just how the game is geared to be played because there's nothing else to do.
Well,
it's literally you run into people. Yeah, but I mean, regardless of whether you trust someone or not, you got super geared up and you've been running around for 3 hours so that way you can say hi to the next person that you see. No, the whole point of you getting geared up is because you want to fight people. There's nothing else to do. It forces you into that like team deathmatch type of feel where it's like, I see someone, I'm going to kill them now. I'm going to try to take their shit instead of the survival aspect of the game where it's like, hello, friend. How are you? Like, can we
I
meet
have
up? Can we be
peaches. Do you need
friendly?
food?
Right.
Like, I need this. Do you have this? I'll give you this, which is what the game is supposed to be.
Right. If you're not adding in those, if you're not adding in the elements from like the mod with like helicopters and all of this military esque gear, right? Then you shouldn't be aiming for that PvP fun. If
Yeah.
you're not going to include all of these weapons and all of these tools and for your arsenal, then you should be focusing on the role playing environment and the actual interactions between players instead of the physical fighting between players.
Right. And,
I don't know.
in my opinion, DayZ is all about high risk, high reward. If you fucking go to a high risk area, be prepared to get rewarded very fucking well. And here's one thing that I do appreciate them fixing. Say you were to go to Northwest Airfield, right? And you loot it all. You get it all. You're fucking ready. You're thick. You're ready to go. You can now not just fucking leave the server and hop somewhere else. No. You have to, it has to match the server. Like, you can go to a different server with all that loot and still spawn somewhere, but it's not going to be necessarily in the same spot. Like, you won't just be at Northwest on a different
Oh,
server.
okay. That's cool.
So you can't just keep fucking server bouncing like we used to be able to do.
We literally used to do, yeah.
And fucking just steal all the loot. But another cool feature is when you are leaving a server, say you're in a firefight, right? People used to just be like, oh, I don't want to die. I just got looted up. Quit. Nope. You got 30 seconds. 15 to 30 seconds. You have to fucking hit escape, go to quit game. It goes, all right, sit down. You got 30 seconds. If you get ran up on, that's it. I like that. I think that's great.
It's a step in the right direction. I still don't think it's the fix, though. I prefer you have one character for this server, right?
Right, yeah.
Like, you leave that server, and now you have a different character on this other server.
Mm-hmm.
It has that persistence.
Well, like so, yeah. So like
That's how it is with a lot of the community and modded servers. With
yeah,
the
you can't
standalone
just bring
servers,
over your highly geared player
right?
to a different server.
With the standalone servers, you transfer all of your loot over, basically.
Yeah, some servers don't allow you to do it though. Like you'll bounce into a different server, right? And sometimes it won't load up that character, which I think might be a bug.
That used to happen. I do remember that, but that's once again, I think that's the issue with community servers versus the official Daisy servers. Because the official Daisy servers, you can hop around between those all the fucking time, and it doesn't
Yeah,
matter. There's
yeah,
just that like 30-second delay where it's like,
yeah,
okay, I just go and hide in this corner and then I leave.
yeah.
You know,
And
that's what I prefer. When we first started playing and there wasn't anything else to do in the game, going to the airfield, looting everything,
server
hiding in the
bouncing.
guard tower, getting the fuck out of there, going to the next server, run out of the server building once it's clear, like do it all over again, run back. We used to do that for fucking hours until
And
we were geared to the teeth.
And firefights would happen, and it was cool.
Yeah, but it's
even
after so much of doing that, it's like you're not earning that loot anymore, right? You didn't have to fight to get there and then get whatever the scraps are left over or whatever.
Yeah.
Or you didn't have to fight to be the first one there. You just fucking spawned there.
Yeah, and let's bring this up now that we are talking about gunplay. The main feature on the game that you would think would work, which is gunplay, is very, very, very antiquated, and it just does not work. It's not a good example of how a game like that should be played gunplay wise. A game like DayZ, where it's every second counts when you're in a firefight. Every decision matters.
Mm-hmm.
You should not have to worry about a gun. This gun will load better than this gun, right? Like, if you have this gun, you'll be able to kill that person. Like, that's fine, but the guns just don't work. And like trying to do anything with your guns is a nightmare for the most part, unless you are playing ranged. If you're playing ranged, that's fine, but up close and personal, you got an AK, they got an M16. It's a mess. It's a fucking desync mess.
It is very much Arma gunplay carried over.
Yeah.
And Arma gunplay is arguably, unfortunately, like the weakest part of Arma.
Right. And
There
it's
is
sad.
so many great things to Arma, and the gunplay is that one thing where you're like, I can overlook it because there's
Well,
so many
the
other
rest of Arma
systems.
works.
Right, exactly. So you're just like, you know what, the gunplay is fine. It works. It gets the job done. When that's the entire focus of your game, though,
Daisy, which is for
which
Daisy,
is
in my opinion.
DayZ, yeah. Like I was saying,
Loot,
that's the
shoot, and run.
focus.
Loot,
Yeah,
shoot, and run. Survive. That's it.
you would think that the shooting mechanics would be just a little bit better.
And they're not.
I like the fact that they put so much complexity into each of their systems, but then there's like hardly any payoff. So like you get shot in DayZ, your guy is bleeding, you have to bandage it up so you stop bleeding, and then to get more blood, you have to get a blood donor, check their blood to make sure that
It's
that it
cool.
works with it. You have to drain their blood, put it into an IV kit so that way you can use it on yourself. And you have to go through all of that trouble just so that way you can then
Keep
just,
going.
yeah, but you just die pretty much immediately afterwards with such a low time to kill, such a fucking messy system, and then it's almost easier just to die than to go through all of that trouble just to try to get yourself a little more blood.
Right.
And
Yeah, there's no point. There's no
heal
point to do it.
yourself.
There's no point to do it.
Right.
It's a wasted system. It's
It's the
systems
same
like
thing
that
with
need to get.
it's the same thing with the cars. Or
Yeah.
you find a broken down car, you have to travel all around to find fucking wheels, tires,
Radiator.
fucking radiator, you got to find car batteries, you got to find spark plugs and shit, you got to find car doors, and then you have to haul all of this shit around and go through all of this work just so you can get this vehicle running.
Which weighs your character down.
Oh,
a lot of it in your inventory makes you go slower. And spark plugs are put in fucking shacks with no ground to them, and they're blended in with the grass. So you literally have to tab walk. You have to tab walk, which is with your inventory up, and it'll show you what's in your surrounding area to pick up, which is so detrimental to a game like DayZ because you need to be able to see your surroundings. If I'm doing that and I'm not able to see this person, might be someone out next to me because the sound is also kind of fucked in the game.
Always has been.
Which you could hear someone shooting from across the map and be like, "Oh shit, what the fuck is that?" Literally from across a map like DayZ. Not now, but back in the day, you used to be able to hear shit like.
Remember, there used to be a bug for like 2013 DayZ, right? Like early, alpha, where gunshots and like footsteps were for the most part pretty accurate, but it didn't matter where you were. If you opened up a door, there's a global noise, and everyone on the entire map could hear you open that door.
That
but
just
no one
fucks
has
everybody
any
up.
idea, no one has any idea where everyone's like, "Did you just fucking hear that?"
We used to get tripped up.
Now you never know if there's a guy who's like 3 houses away from you, and you just have no idea, or if he's literally across the map.
Yeah. It's fucked. Now it doesn't do that. Thank God.
No, but I remember that. Those were fucking
nightmares.
horrible.
That was a nightmare. Fucking But yeah, man.
But no, like they have these super complex systems, and it just feels like there is no payoff for them. Like for your weapons, you have to collect a weapon, then you have to find magazines for said weapon.
Maniac doesn't have ammo for a weapon in the house with their gun?
Right, you would expect to find like maybe one gun with one magazine and like one box of ammo. You would expect to find those all in a same relative area.
Yeah.
No, you find a gun and it has no magazine and
the wrong
ammo.
type of ammo.
Yeah, or like the wrong type of ammo. And then you have to go 4 cities over and you're like, "Hey, I found this random MP5 mag sitting in this house with no indication that this person would ever have an MP5."
It's just loot to be the loot tables are fucked.
It makes no sense. But so you have to go through all of this trouble to collect all of these. Then you have to manually fucking load in each individual bullet into your magazine.
Which is fine. I don't have a problem with that part.
I do it in EFT all the time. I actually really like that. It's realistic. You're like, I need
more depth.
It's like I need to find a safe spot so I can repack my magazine.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
But you still have to go through that. Then you have to have it in your inventory and drag to your hotbar because you can't just You can't just hit R to reload. It has to be on your hotbar in order for you to be able to reload, or you have to physically drag the magazine out, put it into your inventory, take the new one, put it in. It's so complex for no reason.
Which I guess is a good segue into another topic on DayZ, the inventory system. It's gotten better, but that's another detrimental part of the game and a very important part of the game that just it works now. It's fine. You can actually rotate your shit.
Yes, for that was what I'm about to bring up. The longest time you couldn't even rotate an object to make it fit. If it's a 2x1 that's standing up, you can't turn it sideways to make it fit in your inventory.
Now you can.
You just have to put it into the next container that can hold that. And it's like, why?
Well, and then like you were talking about, like, why should I have to fucking go into my inventory and like to do stupid little things that should just be hotkeyed? If you have it, drag and just it becomes a mess. It becomes a fucking mess. And there's so many different things. So, for example, say you have a stick and say you have a rag. You can make a torch, right? But if you have a bunch of ingredients for another item, it's like it doesn't give you a crafting table, which it should. It just goes, did you mean you want this? No, I want a torch. Oh. You want 4 torches? No, motherfucker, 1. Like, there's no crafting table, which there needs to be. If you're going to allow crafting, there has to be a dedicated crafting table.
Right.
Because you telling me to scroll down a fucking list is stupid. And half the time it goes, don't have the necessary ingredients, then why would you give me the option to do it? And we'll talk. We'll also talk about the damage system to your clothing. I do think that's fine. If you get shot in the chest and you're wearing armor, or I mean, not that you can get armor plates now, but if you're wearing something, it becomes damaged.
Yeah,
that's sweet.
It's got a hole in it from a bullet wound, and then now you're bleeding into it. You're effectively ruining it, and if you don't do anything with it, it will ruin the contents inside of that.
Which is
totally understandable. I like that. Except for you get shot once, and then your thing is immediately just completely fucked and ruined, and then everything inside, all of your stuff, is also completely fucked and ruined without even having a chance to kind of save it.
Right, and you know, they added a lot. They added pistol holsters now, which is very awesome. They did that because it saves you inventory space. You can just put a pistol holster on your chest now. There's a lot of better loot now for people who like to loot. Like when it comes to what your character can wear, different like not body armor, because you could find like military grade shit, but it is very hard. But you can add a pistol holster to your fucking chest, your belt, your boot, or no, your boot can hold a knife. Like there's a lot you can actually do now in the game, but little too late, man. Like
way little too late.
Like a lot of the shit should have been implemented from the get-go. And if you weren't ready to fucking release it, I understand early access. Give me the early access. I'll play DayZ and tell you what's wrong with it. I'll tell you, hey, it would be better if you did this. It'd be better if this was added. It'd be better if you added more shit. Like this. But
no, they literally gave up and just released it because they thought that they would never get it finished. They would never going to complete it. So they just released it as is.
So
after doubling the price.
Yep. After making it a $60 game.
Yep.
So Bohemia actually just released though. Let's see. I'm
yep. I already know where you're going here. I am pretty sure that I know what you're going.
I just want to hop on this really quick because I do have more shit to talk about DayZ. Obviously, it's a DayZ episode, right? So, but to add to the frustration that I have with Bohemia, they did just release a game. If I can find it on Steam, I'm trying to get to the Bohemia page. There it is. Not Contact. That's Arma. What game do they just released a new game?
They just released a new. Hold on, give me 1 second here. I'm gonna find it.
Okay. Because I know it pissed a lot of people off. Which it should have.
What the fuck? Vigor.
Vigor.
They just released a new
DayZ type
zombie,
game.
survival type shooter,
and which looks like a new engine, by the way.
It's the same. It's that new engine on DayZ. It's the whatever engine, like the immersion engine or whatever it's called, which is pretty much just made for
Arma 4.
Arma, yeah.
So
the thing is, my problem is, okay, they spent like 4 years developing this new game engine.
Yeah.
Also, that way DayZ could have just a few more frames because they're not really implementing anything, any new content or anything like that with this new engine. Right? Like, what's the point of building this brand new engine to try and fix, like, put all of these different ideas onto, if you're just going to give up right after you finish making the fucking engine?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me.
No.
It doesn't make fucking sense.
No, and that's why a lot of people are
pissed,
speculating that this was literally specifically just a test for the new engine so that they can then transfer it over to Arma 4.
Right. Also,
which, if that's the case, fuck you.
Like, right, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you. I want my fucking game.
I want DayZ. And on that note, let's take a quick break while I go take a piss.
Okay.
Right. But yeah, so now that we've talked about Vigor and the inventory system, I mean, the game can be fun. Right?
Yeah, no, the game has so much potential that it just failed to reach. And it left literally so many fans of this genre begging for more, that literally anytime any game that is even remotely close to a DayZ style game is announced, people immediately lose their fucking mind. You got Dead Side and Dead Matter and all of these new games that are, about to be going into like early access, and people are losing their minds because they're like, finally, give me a DayZ that like is a proper DayZ.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And it just, it's fun to play with your friends. It can be. It really fucking can be. But, and now we're gonna get into this shit. They decided it was appropriate to port DayZ to the Xbox and to the PlayStation. And that, in my opinion, was a very stupid fucking move when you already are neglecting your player base on the PC to put a broken game onto Xbox and PlayStation, and to, in my opinion, trick players who've been wanting to play this game but cannot afford a computer to purchase this broken game on a Xbox or PlayStation 4. Now, let me tell you, how the fuck are you going to inventory manage in a game like DayZ, where you can literally, on PC, tab out while you're still moving around, fucking quickly do some shit, and tab right back out and get back into the action? How you can do that on fucking PC with a controller? Or Xbox PlayStation with a controller? There's too much going on in the game.
I don't know. You figure it out.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah. It's like, I guess you get a little fucking cursor and you just get to drag it along with the analog stick, and then that's just what you got to deal with.
I've not looked into it, so I don't know how it is.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. You just have like a little thing that you control with your mouse or with the analog stick, and you just have to hover it over what you want, ridiculous. So that way you can hit buttons to do the. Yeah, it seems it's probably super clunky.
There's too much to do in DayZ when it comes to inventory and like the UI itself.
Mm-hmm.
To fucking do on a console. It doesn't make sense. I wanted to bring that up really quick, because there's not really much more to say. It's just stupid that they did that.
It is. I think the stupider part is just putting it onto console in the first place when it's clearly not finished. The devs have said that it's not finished. They're just putting the finished title on it just to get it over
to
with.
Roll it out.
Yeah. Literally said they're just putting it's 1.0, even though the game is still nowhere near finished, and they have stated that.
Yeah,
that's bullshit.
It's not fair to the players.
Absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
Don't claim that your game is finished when it's not finished.
When you know it's not finished.
If you're in early access for 7 years, that's fine. Sorry, scratch that. That's not fine, but it's understandable if the finished product is at least what we were at least close to what we were expecting and what we were promised.
Yeah.
Right? We didn't get anything like that after almost 5 years of development.
Yeah.
And it's still just broken.
Yeah.
It's
I guess we could.
it makes me sad.
It does. It makes me sad because I do genuinely love DayZ, and I guess we can bring up the fact that they did overhaul the graphics. The game does look very pretty now to play.
Ooh.
You know, but they overhauled the graphics, they overhauled the weather system, they overhauled the day and night system. They did overhaul a lot of what was broken is now playable. The melee works now. Some of the gunplay is okay. It's still not in a good place in my opinion. So DayZ now, would I recommend somebody to purchase DayZ and play DayZ at this moment?
Absolutely not.
No, unless you like the game as much as I do, and I do still play it, and sometimes I can talk Matt into playing it with me, and we just suffer through it together, kind of. I would not recommend anyone purchase this game if you aren't a fan of the game.
No. I can only recommend someone purchasing this game if A, they have already done their research and they know what they're getting themselves into.
Yes.
Or B, give it some more time for the modding community to make the game what it should be. And then you can play on these modded servers.
Yes.
And where you can actually get the complete experience close to what the players wanted.
Right, exactly. And, one of the last things we could talk about, and let me ask you a question, Matt. Were you looking forward to a new map in DayZ?
No, funny you should ask. I was kind of hoping for the features and the weapons that I was promised to be in the game because you originally had in the SKS and then you removed it so that way you could have a cool big patch where you add it back in.
Yep.
That's a legitimate thing that happened, by the way. But please tell me more about this map that I don't want.
Yes. I mean, I was kind of. Huh?
Is it going to be free for me to play after all of my troubles?
No, I think it's $15.
$15 whole to play this broken game on a new map? What could possibly come with this map?
Bears.
Because that is what I have been asking for since 2013.
Livonia.
I wanted to play with fucking bears in DayZ.
So
I don't want a system where my friends and I can all spawn in a similar place to then move around the map freely from there. No, why would we be able to do that?
So what we're talking about is DayZ Livonia, which was showcased at E3. I wasn't underwhelmed. I was very excited to see a new map because with the new map, they were promising new features. They were promising new weapons, which you did get. They were promising new enemy types, i.e. wolves and bears, which I think you still find wolves in Chernarus.
Who fucking knows?
Smarter zombies, which that's something we forgot to mention. Back in the day, zombies could just go through doors, by the way.
They could. I do remember that. You'd close the door and then they would just materialize through it after running into it for a second. And then you're just like, why are you in here?
Yeah, they would just poof right through the door and you'd just be
now they just can't even go up like a simple step, though.
Yeah, they have problems going up steps. Anyways.
Not even like a flight of stairs. I'm talking you're on a platform that is just slightly elevated above the ground and they can't get up onto it sometimes.
Yeah, they have a little bit of
complete brand fucking just complete opening. They just left to literally lift up one leg and then they can continue, and they can't even do that. But I'm glad that they can't make it into houses anymore through doors.
Yeah, they can climb fences.
I guess it's a give take.
Yeah, they can climb fences and all that, but whatever. So the map we're talking about is Livonia, and that is a Arma map.
Yes, that's another thing. It's not even a brand new map. It is recycled materials from Arma 3's DLC, which let's see, that was the aliens, right?
I don't know if
I think Livonia was the map
Contact
in yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
It was that map for Arma 3 that was then ported to DayZ that you then have to spend $15 for.
I think any price point on a new map for DayZ is ridiculous. You given us a broken game. It made
Mhm.
us wait years to play anything decent, which the game is in a decent spot to play now. You could play this game and enjoy it decently. Um, Let me backtrack really quick. You fixed the hunger and thirst in the game and dehydration mechanics, but then you added in sickness, which is very hard to cure
Mhm.
now. I should not be able to contract a disease if there's not a good system in place to fix said disease
There
in there.
is. You have to just continuously raid hospitals for the antibiotics that hardly ever
It
spawn
doesn't
to
spawn
then
ever.
take
Yeah.
care of your disease. Yeah.
Yes. So that's also a thing. Uh, it's absurd to think that they did that.
Mhm.
It's absurd. It shouldn't be a thing. Uh, Stupidly enough, I did buy Livonia when it was on sale. I've got it for like fucking $5, so I'm not too hurt about it. And
I'm not s
Livonia does run fairly well. Surprisingly, when loaded into Livonia, I'm probably gonna play it today. Um, I didn't have any problems with it. All the hit detection was fine. The gunplay was still fine. It was as good as you're gonna get with Daisy at the moment, anyways.
right.
It's still a very big fucking map with nothing to do, and that's where we're pretty much hitting Daisy right now. Even with its problems, if there was still more to do, I'd be okay.
It'd be acceptable, right? It'd be
Yeah,
playable, just give me something to do, something to work towards other than, like, building a base that's gonna take me a month and a half with my 2 friends,
yeah.
or, give me just some fucking quests to do,
Which they've boasted
like
base building on Livonia, and I've seen some bases built. So,
no,
and I've got
bases can be built. The system is so slow
yeah.
and difficult to use that, like, there's actually it just came out on the 1st of this month, some
Is it
cool
tool?
it's like expansion, I think it's what it's called. It's a DayZ mod that overhauls the building system to make it easier for 1 to 2 people to actually build a base.
Right,
Instead of taking hours, it's gonna only take you a half hour to an hour,
which is
right?
sweet. Which is sweet.
Right. That's literally what we want. Like, I don't mind spending 4 hours to set up my base with my friends to get it all perfect and cool and everything.
Yeah,
That's not a problem whatsoever. Those 4 hours will fly by. But you telling me that you want me to do it for 4 days to 4 weeks?
that's ridiculous.
No. No, 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 no.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't care about my time at that point.
Right. It's absurd.
So
Um I think what was it? What was I just had something. I just had something and I forgot it. Fuck.
it's all that
I don't
weed, buddy. All that weed is getting to you.
No, because I was like this before.
That's so
Okay.
true. Okay,
Like I've
it's
I've been stupid my whole life, and now I'm just extra stupid because I smoke a lot of weed. I'm still stupid though. Like,
that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Um, yeah, man. I don't know what else really there is to say about DayZ. We wanted to just do an episode because this is a game that Matt and I have played a lot of, and no matter how much Matt says he does hate
too
the
much of.
game, you
I like
always
the idea of the game, the
yeah.
concept of the game. I hate that game.
Well, you always find yourself back in Chernaris is what I'm alluding to.
No, I don't.
Yes, you
You do,
do.
not me.
You
You do.
you
You
play.
convinced me to join you.
That's what I'm
That
saying.
is completely different. Because I have not. I think once in the last like 3 years, I've willingly launched that game on my own. Because you
Right.
said that you were playing and you're like, I'm having a good time with it. I was like, I don't trust it. And then I still did it anyways. I played for like 3 hours by myself, and I was like, you know what? No, no. Um,
With that
one
being said,
thing,
do you want to play today?
no, no.
Damn
Like,
it.
you almost fucking tricked me there. You almost did. Um, no. Okay. This is what I was gonna bring up. I remembered. We're
Okay,
back
cool.
on track. One of the things that used to bother me so much was how long the development was taking. Right.
Yeah.
It's been in early access for 2 years. It's been in early access for 3 years. It's bullshit. Now that we're older, we've seen the completion of that, but we've also seen the completion of actual early access games that are actually completed, right?
Yeah.
And now we're able to see and sense that time span of this early access kind of cycle usually goes for about 3 to 4 years. Rough,
Yeah.
about 3 to 4 years is where these games seem to be in this early access state before they get their official release.
Right,
So
right.
with that in mind, now I look back and it's like, okay, they spent 5 years on Daisy. That's really not that bad considering that they tried to build a brand new engine and then all of their development woes between their teams and their, the
Head
other people,
developer,
the
yeah.
head developers and people that were helping advise for the game leaving, regardless of whether it was planned or not. Still a whole bunch of nonsense and drama between their development cycle. So for it to only, for it to have been 5 years, obviously that is a very lengthy time, but that is something that I now understand much more and I
Yeah.
am less upset about it.
Yeah.
My
No, I agree.
upset is that with that amount of time, it still has such a lack of polish.
It's still got a long way to go.
Right. And that's my issue now is that it's not how long it took in development, it's the fact that it didn't take any longer in development.
Yeah.
Because it clearly needs it. But they've given up on it. They don't care anymore, and they're not going to focus all of their assets and things like that towards Vigor and towards Arma 4.
Which I can't even find Vigor on the Steam page.
I think
Steam
it's
store.
console only.
That's ridiculous.
I think it's console only.
Whatever. Don't care.
Yep. So I don't know what
Vigor is
else
free
I
to play.
really. Is it?
Yeah, it's free to play. Oh.
Is it on the Epic store?
It's on the Xbox.
Ah.
And Nintendo Switch.
The
What?
fuck?
I don't care. Well, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with the.
I can understand if you're like, it's on the Xbox and PlayStation. Cool. It's on the Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch. Cool. Only the Xbox and the Switch? That's weird.
With that being said,
I think I have run out of things to bitch about, which is surprising.
Yeah.
But I mean, we did go on for quite a while about how much we dislike this game.
Yeah.
The thing is though is that it's a cool game. There's a lot of memorable moments that you experience, most of them being player to player interactions. Like for instance, I remember the very first Extra Life charity event that I did like the 24-hour stream for.
Yeah.
I played nothing but Daisy. That was the only game I could get to work for the stream. And I played Daisy for like 25 hours straight. And I remember it was like the middle of the fucking night, like 3 a.m. And I got captured by bandits who tied me up, took all of my shit. They harassed me on stream, and then they broke. I think they broke my leg, and then they left me with like a pistol and like took off with all of my other shit.
Yeah.
And so apparently these guys were like stream sniping me because then I went to try to catch up to them and kill them, and they were like already ready, and they were even typing in chat like, "We saw you on stream. We know you're gonna try to kill us."
Right.
But yeah, like that, I remember that. That was fucking funny. I had 4 bandits standing around me, and I'm just like, I'm gonna get executed right now.
Yeah.
Like, this is not okay. Like, there's been so many times I've been captured, fucking executed. Like you're begging and pleading someone for food and water, and then they give it to you only to then fucking kill you right afterwards.
Yeah.
You're like, you fucking prick.
Yeah.
I remember all of those, but there's just not anything else memorable to the game.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. No, yeah. I mean, like I said, the concept is great. I do like the concept of the game. There are memorable moments, and you can find yourself having a lot of fun if you immerse yourself into it and you try to look past everything that's going on. But unfortunately, that's just not the case right now. And yeah, that's our DayZ episode. It's our DayZ episode. I think we've ran out of everything to talk about when it comes to the game. So
yeah, I think so too.
So with that being said, thank you again for stopping by this week to another episode of the WASD and Beyond podcast. As always, please check out our friends. You can find all of our buddies in a list, usually on our Twitter, but you could please check out the YOLO cast, loser podcast, What the Famicon, and Grief Burrito this week. Just check them out. They're great. And I will always put a list on our Twitter of other shows to check out because there are awesome content creators that we do talk to, follow, and we just enjoy. So you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. just flies.avi. And yeah, that's it, Matt.
You can find me everywhere pretty much on PB Freak 42. That's pretty much it. Yeah, I got nothing else.
Cool. Until then, everybody, we will see you guys next week. Matt and I will be walking for days now. We're gonna get walking
forever. Get into our walking simulator.
Christopher Walken. That was bad. Anyways, till next week, guys. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. Stay safe and be easy, my friends.
Take it easy, gamers.